Today's ridiculous again. Over and over, every day, drama queens. My God, they run by screaming. They're off in the distance. They're such drama queens. Judge Pete this, Judge Pete that. My God. Dave dating his daughter, Michelle. It came out. It was his daughter. Memorial Day weekend 2019. Walmart 62. For it's my daughter husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell. It's for my daughter they did all this for, and our family watching her doing this. And for who's Karen's rich boyfriend but the state of Ohio who protects her, mocking me from the food counter to the register, screaming it out. They found last month at Fine Hearts and Laser, there was a guy outside my room. We found the tape of that idiot woman saying they did all this for her daughter, George Pete's wife. It looks like there was a picture on 9/18/19 on the wall of the courthouse. It looked like a little white Santa Claus. I thought it was odd, old 1930 Barbara look. It said Peter something, and him and Judge Timothy Ludick did a scat with Undercover Police before you had us look into it. You knew she couldn't handle it. You knew she appreciated us doing it. You find she did nothing wrong. Judge P walks by. Judge Timothy comes and laughing. We're ready to begin. Yeah, the Undercover Police worked the case. They weren't allowed. It's a conflict of interest. I was drugged out of my mind up there. I'm lucky to be alive. I had bruises before I called the FBI. I had them all over me, and I thought it was from moving wood, and it wasn't. It was from that Dave drugging me. The church people, witnesses have already told people with badges since August and May came forward, and then on December 9th that all the tapes before were them, not me. These idiot people like to yell stuff across the parking lot, wanting to show their alter tapes. We're going to put two clips together and put her in a porn and put a shower scene in another room. Then where they even knew Dave drugged me 8/8/8/15 a night of last year, 21. They sold a login to the case, so everybody heard him. Did you know he fentanyl her and told her to say it before? No, we just found out. We just didn't know. They already knew the kids were lying. Okay. 8/9, first thing in the morning, apartment building for me, second closest to the fence. They came out laughing. She finally figured it out. It was Dave that drugged her first. Well, I wouldn't have figured it out except for hints. And if I wouldn't have went through it, the hints and some notes, it didn't make sense. And to find out he was part of the black and blue marks, and they act like he fentanyl me with my Daragesic patches. It was probably a roofie. They lied to people in Walmart and other places. They had fake sodium pentothal reports. You don't use it because if you do false confession, sodium pentothal, your questioner gets what it wants, right or wrong, you lie out your ass. It's lethal and it's outlawed drug that you say yes to everything. One time I had 8 bruises on me within a week. I had 6 on one leg and 2 on another. They were keeping me drugged up, so I couldn't put two thoughts together. Besides, when I'd go to leave, there'd be people coming at me. I'd have stalkers or shooters, and that way I couldn't figure out it was them. They lied to people. They were FBI, and they were just the dirty undercover police up there. Working in that courthouse. The dark gray truck, white man with dark eyes, 6 foot, 200 pounds, running around telling everybody he's an agent. He was part of the rape and torture between July and September 19, drove a dark gray truck. Those dirty undercover officers from Ravenna and Portage County came down and followed me around in Louisville and to Massillon. They're not allowed to leave Ravenna, but they did whatever they wanted. They didn't care because they're the villains. It's an extortion ring run out of that courthouse. I was in Dollar Tree in Belden today. A couple kids said a few things. I just ignored it and kept walking. Like the attorney knew they made everything up and stuff like that. And so I go out to my vehicle with my client, and we sit down, and some girls come running out. Oh my goodness, some police officers went in there We told the police what's going on and they're going to take care of it. Well, what I did is I emailed that police station all the information. I'm not dealing with crap. They already worked the case. June of 19, the North Canton police were outside Hillsdale's Road on Hillsdale's Road out of Liberty House here working at security because I had almost been murdered. And some guy in a suit was in the back laughing that they made up a case to watch me before. And they witnessed it. These people are utterly ridiculous. It's their permanent plan to do away with me. They think they can get me in trouble for illegal surveillance. You cannot do that. You can't have a conflict of interest with Judge Pete's daughter. The undercover police couldn't even work the case. They cannot set up cameras and watch you unless a murder investigation only. They can't give it to an attorney. Attorneys can only take you out in public, or they have to compensate you and they go to jail. They can't have the police work the case with a conflict of interest. No judge in that courthouse could say anything to me in my whole life because it's a conflict of interest. And yeah, there wasn't a murder investigation until I called Will. I called the hotline, then I called Will, and Will activated the men on the September 28th, 2019. I talked to him on the 27th, and the men showed up the next day. You can't set up cameras because Dave dates Judge Pete's daughter. Matter of fact, they had excused themselves for everything, and they would have had to went to the FBI. But they didn't. I did because Dave said that his girlfriend's family was rich and powerful and her family owned the place, and I wouldn't be able to withstand. No one owns the place, and I told them that, and it's not a communist country. The way that people are acting around here, you would think it was, and you would think you're in North Korea or Nazi Germany. It's that bad. These idiot people are not smart enough to be afraid of dirty cops and a dirty judge. And it's, Melissa had her, my ex-daughter-in-law had her little kids make up a mean game of pretend, stated on Thanksgiving of 18, real police and hire heard them, that they were making everything up to my granddaughter, Flora. So everybody knows. They told apartment building for me, second one close to the fence, those kids were lying. Their mother witnessed to an officer that they knew that Dave drugged me before. That was back in August. May 25th, Louisville Wendy's was talking about the church people weren't funny breaking in before drugging me, telling me say weird or molester stuff. They said it in front of my old client, Jeff, and Jeff said it was too dark for him. Okay? And he told Jim and Brian that, and I don't work for him anymore. The little old lady at 1295 Maryland Middle Apartment, she screamed at him for doing it until the whole street could hear. She's talked to several people. They showed up on Christmas Eve, the apartment building for me, second one close to the fence, and said Karen's Will doesn't want you to see anything. She's like, too bad. I already talked to someone. I'm like, go, lady. December 9th, I was at Hunger Task Force. There was a bald man that used to help watch me. I'd see him out. I don't know who he is. He came out and said, it makes my stomach turn to watch her in a place like this. We always knew that tapes before were them, not her, so we never said anything. December 9th, Ed at Oakland Apartments, I think it's 4805 Cleveland Avenue. He had made fun of me for the tapes before and then was nice to my face. Well, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he was on the phone with someone. What? Those tapes before were them, not her? What's going on? It's a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to see if someone will actually stop them. Okay. October 5th, Huntington Bank, Cleveland Avenue, 1:53 p.m. I check out. When I first go in, there's women behind me. I don't want Melissa getting any money out of this. That's okay. They knew they made everything up. They didn't want anybody to help her. Mercy Medical, October 2nd to the 3rd of this last year. I'm in there. The lady that had walked me out, but she's an informant. I help watch her. And they're all lying on it. Officer said, that's okay. They knew, I'll make sure no one says anything to her. And then inside, they're making fun of me for being raped. Okay. Let's see. November 9th, I'm at Plato's Closet. Some young girls are making fun of me. They gave her those amnesia drugs she'll never remember. I go into mentors. A lady said, I found out those kids made everything up. I don't want any of these boys to say anything to her. There was a lady in November, was African American. She had made fun of me, and where they said they were going to March 2nd to the 3rd. Outside, you could hear it went into the car tapes of 21. They're going to put two clips together and put her in a porn. It made my stomach bleed for a few days, the thought of it. Well, then they kept saying where March 13th, I had went to Mercy Medical. Some lady had came in and told the nurse the only thing they had you on was adjusting yourself. April 10th or April 1st to May 10th and right in Louisville, you didn't expose yourself, you're good. Well, then they kept saying, you're weird with yourself, you exposed yourself. And I'm like, no, I didn't. What part of you didn't expose yourself, you're good. You just adjust yourself, just wipe off water running with clothes on, not a big deal. And then they kept saying two clips together, blah, blah, blah. And it's like the only time you touch yourself showering. They're outside laughing. She figured out what they did. They put a shower scene in another room. Assholes. Think of the Pirates of the Caribbean. You can turn into skeletons. They turn back into men. They stab them. They shoot them. They come back to life. It's photoshopping. They're ridiculous. It's like, don't threaten me with your crimes. But yeah. I'm tired of the onslaught of every day. I'm getting ready to go to the media. If I have to go to a tabloid and have them run this with the legal chipping, abducted me 12/21/18, stabbed in the neck of the refrigerator. I have a dent in my skull the size of an egg. Neural chips are used in Cleveland Clinic for paralyzed patients. If you Google paralyzed man plays video game with brain chip. Paralyzed man runs computer with brain chip. It comes right up even with the one with the cell phones. Since 2006. It's a simple surgery. They remove their skull and they lay the disc down, expand it out, and then surgically glue your head back down. I was out for 6 hours, woke up with hair missing, a dent in my skull, and a migraine. I didn't know what happened. Within 10 to 15 days, they end up at Walmart by the TVs being implanted a neural chip. We can all read your thought. I thought, you're lying. Absolute lying. They try to blame it on the agency March 13th of 21 at 2:50 something. I check in. They come in and say, we're here for Karen's will. The agency chipped her. Okay. And the lady's like, is that why she's here? And a bitch gets in my face. The agency wanted the truth out of you. That's why they chipped you. And I'm like, shut up. Our U.S. government recognizes remote neuromonitoring and electronic brain links as an illegal strategy for the truth. Our government does. It comes with a 20-year sentence. In the back, Dr. Allen and Tina's a man standing outside my room said someday Master neurochipped. He said, all right, we already know. There's a CT of it at Mercy Medical. You can see they cut the wires, the crack. These people have raped and tortured me, drugged me, framed me in front of everyone, and chipped me, and put it as a public display and dare people to arrest them. They'll blatantly show their crimes. We have it set up. No one will ever help. It's like, shut up. These are your crimes. Those were your crimes before. It's like the officer from Louisville. I told him, I said, they set up tiny cameras and watched me. He said, don't worry about it. Until you talk to Will at the FBI, don't you even worry about one thing. He said, we can't look, we can't listen. It's illegal too. It's illegal surveillance. And I said, well, they said they put clips together and put me on. I don't care. I said, they said they drugged me and told me to say something stupid. I don't care. He said, it's illegal for us to look or listen to it. He said, don't worry about one thing until you talk to Will at the Canton branch, September 27th, 18. And then they blatantly drugged me in front of either the FBI or the police in the nation. And they have sold the login. They talk about selling the login by January of 19 in Walmart. They walk around me in Walmart. The case is called Karen's Will from the agency, blaming everything on the agency. They're so stupid. They even have somebody's Wi-Fi in a van that says FBI surveillance van. They don't mark, hey, we're stupid, we're outside. They've ran around telling people they're FBI, and my one friend works for the prosecutor's office. Okay? He called an FBI agent. They said none of this was them. Some of the guys with the earbuds would show up and say, we take turns taking care of her when she's out. Okay? But they let the undercover police watch me up there. And they were the ones doing it for Michelle and Judge Pete. There was a medium blue truck, a dark gray truck is the rapist, light gray truck, a black one, and a white one that would follow me. There's supposed to be a Steve, Eric, Kurt, Chris, and Mark Henry involved, a Christine. I told you about the weird man. They said Terrence and an African-American man jumped out of the shoe aisle in Walmart. You watch him chant behind me. You know my name, you know my name, you don't quit praying about everything. I'll make you stay somewhere for 8 hours so you can't pray anymore. I ignored him. He's weird. No, and I'll tell you what. I have witnesses out the ass of selling the login. I got witnesses out the ass that Dave drugged me before, and the church people. Other people have come down and talked to my witnesses, and they said, we talked to our witnesses, and none of this is funny. It's not. I was in the laundromat last week twice, and there was a guy and a lady, and it was about between 4 and 5 in the afternoon, and they said, she said, are you sure they drugged her and told her to say it before? He's like, yes. I know they framed her before. Well, that's what the guy at the Hunger Task Force and what somebody told Ed, and Ed told that older African-American man. He said, I found out what's going on and none of this is funny. He said, I know, she's scared to death of those people, and I told them that it was them, not her, the tapes before, and it's just a bunch of men down here doing crimes. He said that the guy at the task force told him too. And they're running around threatening people not to say a word. You know how you stop wannabe mob lords and dirty cops? You tell on them, and you tell on them and tell on them. 5 judges tried to destroy 41 lives before they were stopped. Had them raped and framed. They got 6 to 20 years. What will stop them if they're not stopped now? That's the only thing going on. It's an extortion, murder, rape, and drug ring run out of that courthouse. That's what's going on. Why would they be involved? They know they can't look at it. If they look at anything for the FBI, it's illegal. Oh, the attorney has a court order in hand. Attorneys can't do it. It's illegal to. It's like the fake sodium pentothal reports. Everything they do is a lie and fake. They're insane, and these people have not enough IQ to be afraid of them and to turn them in and go along with it. Dave drugged this poor lady before, so the church people. They taped her unaware. They photoshopped her. They altered tapes. 2 guys walked by my apartment a few weeks ago. I didn't think about what we did to her before. Erased my part out of it. They said they were even choking me and they were abusing me. 1233 13th Street, right after March 2nd to the 3rd. Some guy sitting on the front porch with dark hair looks up at me and looks at the phone. I'm not interested in this. They had to choke her, even choke her, to make her say it. There was a kid in Dollar General. It's sick. I've seen some of those tapes before. They were doing sick stuff to her. I know. See what I mean? They want money for putting bruises on me in my sleep and drugging me with lethal outlaw drugs to make me say yes to everything. It doesn't work this way. I don't get in trouble. They can't even look at it. It's illegally obtained and cannot be used. Some lady had pulled in and said all their evidence was illegally obtained and cannot be used. The officer in Louisville, we can't even look at it. It would be illegal for us to look at it. They can't say anything to you in your whole life. It's a conflict of interest. Trying to help an occult get away with murder. I bet the courthouse has done this before. They're too organized. They were laughing, around March of this last year, of 21. If it was anybody else, they'd be in jail on crimes they didn't commit. They almost got away with it till they started bragging. And they were talking in Giant Eagle back, probably about January of 21 in Louisville. What about Dave and the gunshot night? You know he really did it. He did. He got away with it. The lady said her husband got killed. He got away with beating me with internal injuries in front of the police. The police didn't arrest him. Sexually assaulted me. Didn't arrest him. Gunshot night. Seen with shooters. And police were called that night. Could hear sirens in the distance. I caught it on tape and audio. Even Louisville, where I live, around the 4th, a bunch of people yelled out, "We found the gunshot night." None of this is funny. You can hear them how they said they murdered him. You can watch the lights crossing the back and green laser lights into the living room and me hiding on the floor, stating I need to call the police. And the police up there, the 2 young African-American men by the register, we take out the gunshot night. Because Dave's girlfriend's prettier, and the guy running it didn't blame us and find out it was her father. They said none of this is funny, they're dead. Old white guy with gray hair and a mustache by Wood Forest mocking me too. We had backup. They let those men die for the whore in the store of Ravenna. Judge P's supposed to get me for insulting his baby girl. He can kiss my ass. He's a murderer, a rapist, and a drugger and a framer. He has no right to even have anybody say anything to my life. They should have just paid me off. They've been at this. I couldn't believe that they went from trying to shoot me in the head, driving 6 stalkers, a gunshot night, Dave beating me with internal injuries, murderers showing up. So, and then putting threats on my daughter-in-law's life and my granddaughter's and tampering with her vehicle and with my son's vehicle. Why would they stop? They were waiting like vultures. Because Dave had sent me a comment, how do you get away with everything? Timing. They were running around the first of the year. So funny she doesn't know what's going on. It's so funny. Well, no, it's bitch moves. Setting up tiny cameras, watching someone, photoshopping them in a porn, stopping their tapes, having Dave roofing me and tell me to say something stupid, have the church people break in and the dirty undercover officers pretend that they're FBI agents and stab me with needles and lie they have sodium pentothal reports and keep me high up there. So when I was so dehydrated from the drugs and the beatings up there, that I was losing 5 to 7 pounds a week. I started at 212 to 217 and I went down to 150 before I left. And that was from October to April 1st. That's almost 70 pounds. That's how fast I was losing weight. They did an illegal surgery without my permission, blamed the FBI. And these people are too stupid and ignorant around here not to be afraid of these people. They think it's funny helping kill people. They think it's funny drugging people and telling them to say something stupid and extort money out of them. These people, if you would come down here, you would realize how sick and mentally ill they are. They don't have a common sense in their head. Some lady in the summer was having their little kids make fun of me for being raped. Looked down at her phone and said, "Cut it out, they're manipulating all of us." See, there's real cases. Massillon police have it. They watch Dixie on Federal Avenue, and they'll tell you it's a documentary game of pretend she never hurt anyone. June 23rd, 21, I'm in Walmart buying paint. I buy paint 10, 15 days before or after. Two investigators followed me around for years. What are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. Okay? She never hurt anyone. Back by the paint aisle, there's a bunch of women talking real loud. Now they tape an audio through the whole store. Oh my goodness, the boys had to drug her to make her say that stuff. Nobody mentions those tapes. Okay? So then we'll go forward. Oh, who else? I was in, what was it, December 27th, Maslin, Walgreens on Wales Road with my new client. Some old women that I've seen several times that say they watched me came in laughing. Her family really did speak highly of her. They told me that at 19, that they had found Melissa and the kids lying, and that they had interviewed my family and they spoke highly of me. They better. I almost died to save their lives. Oh, what else? So then I go by the candy aisle because I thought I can't deal with you right now. I got my client, and there's a lady and a guy. They walk around from the candy aisle. I told you I seen her out the other day. I told you what they were doing to her. I thought they were done with her. Boy, I knew they made everything up. She's like, these people need to go to jail and they need to make it up to her. He's like, I know they do. And they left. And I was so mad I was stuttering. I've been raped and tortured, and they put it on the internet and dare people to arrest them. Nobody has enough integrity to do their damn jobs. None of this was FBI. None of it. They told the prosecutor that. The only thing that the guys said with the earbuds, they took turns taking care of me when I was out. I was, what was it, November 27th, I went to FedEx. They said, some guy came in and said her family didn't even think anything of her wiping off water with clothes on. I thought, I bet not. Jen did more than a towel. Plus, it's not wrong. You didn't expose yourself. You're good. And then I go to the unmarked FBI building. I look at it, and all I can see is rape and torture. And I can't move out of my vehicle. I go to mail it at the post office in Belden. And I go in, and the lady leans over. We all know after what you lived through, you can't walk in that building. A young blonde girl's right in the entranceway. She's on the phone. I've seen her around me several times over the years. She claims she was somebody's wife or girlfriend. She'd go shopping and talk to other people around me. Okay, they did the safety in numbers when I got safe. And she's like, honey, I know, she's looking right in my eyes. I know she knows who I am. Okay? And I'm thinking, you're somebody, okay? And she's like, I didn't know they implanted that in her, did you? No. They must not have activated it when we were out. None of this is funny. Neurochipping somebody without their permission is a 20-year sentence. You can't abduct somebody from their home and put a chip in them. Our government recognizes it as legal. U.S. Supreme Court 2005, 11th Circuit 18-10134. They're just trying to kill me with it as a silent bomb. They're the murderers, the rapists, the druggers, and an extortion group run out of that courthouse. You know what? Even the prosecutor told me it's state law for my ex beating me with internal injuries that he went to jail for it. State law. Yeah. There's a lot of state and federal laws being stomped on, thrown out. And it's like a freaking Purge movie. And these people are too insane and too ignorant to be not afraid of these people. And they know I don't know them. They were laughing off in the dark. That one weird guy, Kurt, they said is involved. He said, Kurt, she'll never remember. I know. Ha 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 ha. I don't know him. He needs to thank God. I had some idiot up in Ravenna. For every idle word you say, well, I'll turn it on you. I walked off and I thought, you can't. Silencing an informant or victim of violent crimes is illegal. Everything you're doing is illegal, and these ignorant people are too stupid not to be afraid of them. They sold a login They talk about it by January of 19 inside Walmart. Yeah. The agents are selling the login for money. It's going for $25 a pop. They sold it clear across the nation. People from California showed up, Washington, Wyoming, Texas, Florida, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, New York, Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland. And where they think they're funny, everyone knows. I went into Sheetz and Perry. Some lady looked at me and said, we all know what they did. Hartville gas station, Sheetz in May. We found the tape of the rape. Guy in the used clothing store with the lady. They could have beat her to death. Youngstown gas station at the border. Will knows that chip needs to come out. I was in Dr. Rapika's office in Warren. Beginning of the case, there was a lady with dark hair came in and yelled at some dirty officers that harassed me for following me clear out to Warren. Talk about out of jurisdiction. Yeah. And yelling about stuff that I said in my house in Ravenna, defending me. She showed up. If you pull Belden's tapes, in March of 19, she'll be with a guy with brown hair and brown beard. He looked at her and looked back at me and said, she's amazing. I could write a bestseller on what happened. Call it Karen's Prayers. Paid off dirty agents, a man trying to kill his wife, and men being shot at running. She's like, she is amazing, and I'd like her to speak when this is over. I've had even little kids, even now, they find somebody to help Karen, yay, and then they don't show up. Some guy was in the laundromat the last time I went 2 days ago. He said, it's good to see her out. I wouldn't trust none of them. They're murderers, they're rapists, they're druggers, they're photoshoppers. They're extortion, the worst villains on earth, and these people are too stupid not to be afraid of them. Here we've done all these crimes and you guys have taped it. You've seen it. Teenagers have it, truck drivers, random workers. They sold it. I went into McDonald's in June of 19. Some idiot construction workers come in and make fun of me for using a feminine douche that morning in my bathroom. They set up cameras in my bathroom. I don't know where they're at. They're insane. Totally insane. They have lost their ever-loving minds. And these people are too stupid and too ignorant not to be afraid of a dirty judge and some dirty cops. And that's all there is to it. And some dirty friends and a dirty attorney of how it's a real life case of how to get away with murder. No attorney can surveillance you in your home. They can't get a court order to do it. It's illegal. It's fake, like the fake sodium pentothal reports. And like they have the right to abduct you and put a chip in your head when our government recognizes it as illegal. Our Constitution, federal and state laws have been broke and shredded, and these people are too stupid and ignorant not to be afraid of these people. They don't have a common sense in their head, and they could be next, and they don't even realize.